Hyrule Warriors. You know, I think to some extent the game might be a bit underappreciated. I honestly thought it was a really fun game. Like, now listen, to my experience with the Legend of Zelda franchise, I've played Wind Waker, then never beat it. I beat Twilight Princess, I beat Majora's Mask, I beat A Link Between Worlds, I played the, that one Game Boy game with the, what was it called? The one with the time travel, but it wasn't Ocarina of Time. Although I have played that a little. The original one. Although I beat the Majora's Mask on the 3DS, but that doesn't matter. The point is, I've had experience with the Legend of Zelda franchise. Oh, and the game with the three links. What was that called? I beat that one too. I should really play that more. But yeah, I've had experience with the Legend of Zelda franchise. I've been playing it for most of my life. It was really since I started playing games, I played Wind Waker. And although I do want to talk about Wind Waker at a different time with my sister. But Hyrule Warriors is honestly a pretty fun game. Like, I think, like, it's definitely not like the other Legend of Zelda games. And if you go in thinking for it, it's just not. It's not trying to be. It's an absolute love letter to the series, but it's not a traditional Legend of Zelda game. Not even like how not even why Breath of the Wild is. Oh, and as a note, I'm talking about the original Wii U release. I only had a little bit of the DLC to, like, basically just give me costume for Link to make him look like Twilight Princess Link. And I've never played the new 3DS version or the Switch Digital Deluxe, the Age of Calamity game. Never did any of that. Well, they look fine from what I can tell. I just never don't have them. But it is honestly really fine. I like the story. Like, it's not super complex. It's kind of basic in its own way. We got the good guy, the good character and the bad character, and we get in a little bit of time travel, so we get to have all of our favorites show up. Although I was only slightly kind of curious in a weird way of why the other Links were never around. Like, I get why from a gameplay perspective you wouldn't want Link in literally every level, and then you have like 4 extra Links running, or like 3 or so extra Links running around, and like, what are they doing there? What are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, we have Link from this game. We don't need Ocarina Link or Twilight Princess Link walking around and no one knows what to do with them. You know what I mean? It'd just be kind of weird. So I get why they didn't show up, but from a story reason, I never entirely understood why they didn't show up. Although, well, no, that isn't actually really Wolf Link. Although it would be kind of a fun reference if Mita was actually riding normal Wolf Link, and then he just turns into Twilight Link at some point in the story, and then that would actually be pretty cool. Actually, it would be kind of cool. They could have played it up like that was like post the events of Twilight or something, Twilight Princess. But that's not the point. The point is, the story was pretty good. I kind of like the branching paths. The characters kind of split up and do that. I think that was pretty fun. And the gameplay itself is really fun. I love the horde mechanic, how you just take on so many enemies that I'm pretty sure you could be legally classified after the first level as being a war criminal. It is ridiculously fun. There are some a bit frustrating moments at certain levels, but those really come down when they have a weird mechanic that I don't understand fully. But the basic gameplay is incredibly fun. I do kind of wish there was like a free play mode where they're like you could build your own missions or something like that, or just a basic scenario editor. Not like a Mario Maker level or anything, but something like you can like set up certain parameters. That'd be fun. But what do I know? My favorite character playing the game was Link. I know basic, but he was honestly pretty fun. We got the Master Sword, perfecto. It's almost a bit overpowered, and it's actually kind of sad to some extent, as there's really no other reason to ever want to use one of the major weapons for Link ever again after that. Because why would you? I mean, it's the Master Sword. It's pretty much overpowered after that. But that's not here nor there. Although I guess the justification in story makes sense. My sister Emma, who almost always played the game with me, we went through the story together, and it was quite a fun time. She played Luna. I can never say her name right. Oh, I'm not sure how to say it right. Lana? Oh, whatever. Both me and my sister just called her Blue-Haired Girl. Anyway, she would play her, and one of the things that was really smart we do, and I don't know if anyone else relates to this when playing the game with a friend, is that we would purposely make sure our attacks mix together, because one of the things that though you can release these cool special attacks that are amazing, one of the things that didn't always kill the opponents. Usually they would, especially on easier missions, they would knock out and destroy any of the weaker foes. But if we want to destroy a more powerful opponent, or just want to make sure we double dead the stupid mooks in our way, what we do is we purposely line up the abilities to work together. And it was crazy. Like, it was just like something you'd see out of a cartoon when a character has some kind of special ability. And then, like, both characters have a special ability, and then in one episode, they just finally get the bright idea to mix them together. It was something else, man, let me tell you, it was fun. But yeah, I love the upgrade system, too. I loved how, like, they're all references to Zelda in some way, how they upgrade, and I like that. My only complaint is I wish you could kind of toggle your upgrades on and off, like, you could toggle what upgrades you were applying at any given time. So you could play easier missions without being a cakewalk, if that makes any sense. I mean, obviously there's no reason to do it, but with no way, there's not like multiple saves or without like deleting your progress. I think it would be kind of cool if abilities or upgrades could be turned on and off, but that's just my own thing. I love the Legend of Zelda, the old original Zelda game world map. Love that. It was really fun to go across the world, get into hijinks, and get into all kind of really interesting scenarios. Never actually fully beat it, but it was a fun ride even when I did play. And I highly recommend if you ever play this game or any of the sequels or re-releases or whatever, you get a friend to do it. The game is best with a friend. It's fun on its own, but let me tell you, with a friend, that is where it's at. You'll be tag teaming and destroying the enemy like they didn't know what hit them. Like you're all just a bunch of, oh yeah, we're in a realistic state, and then like two bloody superheroes walk up out of nowhere. It's like time to murder these guys. Oh, and the bosses. I tell you, when the bosses hit, they hit. And how like if sometimes missions have certain parameters and how you actually have to fight for control of certain squares. I love that. That was fun. It had this little strategic level to it that was very fun. Yeah, that was pretty cool. The items were okay. I mean, nothing really wrong with them. The problem is stuff like the bomb and the hook shot and all that stuff was kind of got overshadowed, in my opinion, to some degree, by all the cool, unique abilities your characters could unleash. And some of the characters, and like, I love the amount of characters. Even if I mostly ended up playing Link, they were just so many characters, and almost all of them are really fun to play. Like, if you're stuck playing a character, you will not likely be thinking, oh man, I can't enjoy this, because they're all fun. Even if you don't want to, like, play one most of the time, they're enjoyable enough that you can usually play them for, like, a level or so you have to for a particular mission, and still get a good time out of it. It is something else. But yeah, I'll pass the mic over to my co-host this day. So I'll just patch you in right here. Doo-doo-doo.
Thanks, Will. Hi everybody, my name is Shadowflare, here to give my quick thoughts on Hyrule Warriors. I've been a Zelda fan since playing Ocarina of Time on the 3DS, and Hyrule Warriors, to me, is not only a fun diversion from the formula, but one of the most well-made and loving homages to the Zelda universe. Alongside its pretty amazing original story, there's a wealth of content from all across Zelda lore to play with, especially now with the Definitive Edition on Switch. Characters from Ocarina of Time, Twilight Princess, Wind Waker, Skyward Sword, even Link's Awakening. If you're a Zelda fan, this was made for you. I know some people kind of dislike the warrior style for being kind of basic, but I'm not one of them. Mowing down enemies in hordes just makes you feel like such a badass. Especially if you play as Link with the Master Sword. Or Ganondorf. Anything that lets you play as Ganondorf is a win. Age of Calamity was awesome too, by the way. That's about it for me. Thanks for having me on, Will.
No problem, man. But yeah, I think that's all I kind of want to say today on Hyrule Warriors. It was a really fun game, and if I ever get the chance to play some of the sequels, I might. But yeah, feel free to post in the comments what was your favorite. Did you enjoy the series, and what was your favorite character to play? I'm very curious to see what the audience thinks was our best character to play, or just best character. Who was your favorite character in the game? Mine is Link, but Link and Lana, both. I think MME can both agree that it was one of the best characters, both gameplay and story wise. But that's up to you. Anyway, see you later. Hey, why don't you hit that sub button? You're gonna become a subscriber. get to see my content quicker. Wouldn't that be nice? I bet so.